Skyhail 033, subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. Does anyone remember this kids show? It was called Candle Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere, so I think it was on a local station, around 1971 or 1972. I lived in Ireton at the time. I don't remember which station, but I do remember it was on a weird time, like 4 p.m.
Mike Painter 65. Subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. It seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove, was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl.
Skyhail 033, subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. Yes, okay, I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looks like he was built from parts of other dolls, real low budget. His head was like an old porcelain baby doll. He looked like an antique that didn't belong on the body. I don't remember what station it was. I think it was WTSF though.
Jaren_2005. Subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. Sorry to resurrect this old friend, but I know exactly what you mean, Sky Shale. I think Candle Cove ran for only a couple months in 71, not 72. I was 12 and I watched it for a few times with my brother. It was channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate, because he got scared too easily. And there was a calote music constantly playing. Don't remember the girl's name. Janice or Jade or something? I think it was Janice.
Skyhail 033, subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. Thank you, Jared. Memories flooded back when you mentioned the Laughingstock in channel 58. I remember the bow on the ship was a wooden smiling face, and the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had that awful Ed Wynn voice and laugh. I specifically remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden and plastic model to the foam puppet version for the head that talked.
Mike Painter 65. Subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. Haha, I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Skies Hill? You have to go inside.
Skyhail 033, subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. Ugh, Mike, I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship always told Percy when they were in a spooky place he had to go in. Like a cave or a dark room where treasure was, and the camera would push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside, with his two eyes askew and flopping, foaming jaw, and the fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh, it just looks so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had a face that was just a handlebar mustache above really tall, narrow teeth. Kevin Hart, subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show came out. Nightmare fuel.
Jaren 2005. Subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. That wasn't the villain. The puppet with the mustache. That was the villain's sidekick, Horace the Horrible. He had a monocle too, but it was on top of the mustache. I used to think that means he only had one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette, the Skin Taker. I can't believe they let us watch that back then.
Kevin Hart, subject, Candle Cove, local kids show. Jesus H. Hell, Price. The Skin Taker? What kind of kid show were we watching? I seriously could not look back at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. He just descended out of nowhere on his streets, just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape. His glass eye was too big for his skull. Christ almighty. Skyhail 033, subject, Candle Cove's local kids show. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be the children's skin?
Mike Painter 65. Subject, Candle Cove local kids show. Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close? His jaw just slid back and forth. I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the skin taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera and said, "To grind your skin."
Skies Hail 033. Subject, Candle Cove local kids show. I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had where the opening jingle ended and the show faded in from black. All the characters were there, but the camera was just cutting to each of their faces, and they were all just screaming, and the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically. And just all screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she has been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it. Kevin Hart. Subject, Candle Cove local kids show. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode. Sky Hail 033. Subject, Candle Cove local kids show. No. Not possible. There was no plot or anything. I mean literally, just standing in place crying and screaming for the whole show. Kevin Hart. Subject, Candle Cove local kids show. Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you had said it, but I swear to God I remember seeing what you described. They just screamed.
Jaren 2005. Subject, Candle Cove local kids show. Oh god, yeah. The little girl Janice, I remember seeing her shake, and the skin taker screaming through his gnashing teeth, his jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off its wire hinges. I turned it off and was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother, but we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. Mike Painter 65. Subject, Candle Cove local kids show. I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 9, and if she remembered a kids show, Candle Cove. She said I was surprised I could even remember that, and I asked why, and she said, "Because I used to think it was so strange that you said, 'I'm gonna go watch Candle Cove now, Mom,' and then you would turn the TV to static and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination with your little pirate show." And that, everybody, was Candle Cove, a creepypasta. Our final thoughts on the story?
It was amazing. It was a really good creepypasta. Also, before we get into the review, I want to thank TXT Savage for having me on the show.
And
really
welcome to my
it.
new channel, The Dark Author. This is my new channel where I dedicate creepypastas to.
This creepypasta is much more than just your typical Lost episode creepypasta. It's so unique. It's instead of just having one author just stating, "Oh, I watched an episode, I was scared."
You have multiple people.
Stuff. It had multiple people, and it was just so. It had multiple people in a forum format.
It was incredibly realistic in the sense that a lot of people would discuss stuff like this. But the thing that got me the most was the ending. The twist that this all never really happened.
Well, yeah, it's doesn't happen at all. It's like the kids just watch static for 30 minutes.
But then again, we don't even know, did it happen? Are these kids getting brainwashed? It leaves enough air open that a sequel could easily be made.
If, of course, it was made by the same person.
Yeah.
And, it's so interesting that the fact that they made a forum, this feels realistic enough. And the interesting thing is that, even though there's not even a show based around this, it still feels the sense that you watched this. You've been a part of this story. You felt it.
Yeah, that's what got me. It's so realistic. It don't use any cliches like hyper-realistic blood or anything. It's just all around a really good story, especially a good starter creepypasta. If this is your first creepypasta, or whatever, I'd recommend Candle Cove. It's a good read.
It's really good read. It's a good twist at the end. It's perfect. There are some spelling issues, but I can excuse that on the fact that it's a format. Like it's the format that gets, it doesn't really matter. It's a form, so like of course, like if we're near typing, you're gonna have some spelling issues.
Yeah,
So that's
spelling
why I
mistakes are
forgive
to
it.
be expected.
Yeah, it's just I love the story. It's super great.
And
It's
the ending
amazing.
might also be a little bit confusing for anybody watching it for the first time. That could also potentially leave like a bad taste in their mouth if they want a complete story.
Yeah, cause like I get it. They wanted to like make a cute, like a kind of good twist. Like, oh, it's not real. It's just static. But like, if you were going to do that, you could have done it in a better way than just saying, "Oh, I went to visit my mom, and she said, you just only watch static for 30 minutes."
I feel like they could have maybe done something else with like all four of them, like searching the web for it, maybe have something to do with the dark web, just like trying to figure it out on their own. That could be a cool possibility.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, it leaves possibilities a lot.
But I think that's just about all the issues we have with it. It's a near perfect story.
It holds up really well. It does, and I want to
Especially.
thank TXT Savage,
Also known now as the Dark Author.
yeah, for this channel. I want to thank him for inviting me and letting me come read the story with him.
Yeah, I also want to give thank you to TheRandomFiend for making the profile picture that you guys are seeing on this new account. Also check him out, show him some love.
Yeah, we are gonna be posting this on both of our channels so that we can link them to both our channels so that you can subscribe to me if you're from TXT side, and then my side can come subscribe to him. So,
Yes.
anyways,
Before
like
we
I
go,
said,
let's leave a final rating of the story out of 10. What would you give it?
like I said, the ending and the grammar, it's not a huge problem, but it's like, again, could affect the story for first-time readers.
Yeah.
So I would have to say a 9.5 because it's a great story. It's a great first read if you're wanting to start off reading stories.
Yeah,
it's just those two issues.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'd either go for 9.5 or a 9 on that. It's not perfect, but then again, I don't think it was trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of the reading, and that's the end of our review. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out both of our channels, and hit the bell for more CreepyPasta uploads. We will see you guys later.
Bye, guys.